This group of words is for grades 3 to 5, and it's a big grade range, so you're going to have to decide which words fit your grade level. All these words, again, come from the Common Core standards, and they're trying to find a way to build and deepen kids' understanding of these critically important math vocabulary words and math concepts. This group of words comes from number and operations, fractions, measurement and data, and there's a couple of words in from the number system. Really, that's mostly grade 5. But here we go. There's about 30 words here, and you can follow along with me, or you can just watch. First one is fraction bar. This is actually called the vinculum, if you want to get fancy. But this one, I put it out like this, fraction bar. Numerator, denominator. Numerator, denominator. You can think down, denominator. Then I go halves, because there's a 2 here, right? Thirds, fourths, fifths. The size of the piece is getting smaller. Halves, thirds, fourths, fifths, numerator, denominator. While you're here, you might as well teach them if 1 is on the top, that's a unit fraction. So unit fraction, 1/3, 1/4. So this is a fraction bar, numerator, denominator. Now, we want to get the idea that fractions mean division. So you could say division like that, or you can use your little division symbol here, where you have your classic. This comes from a rectangle, where these would be the length and the width. So if the area was under here, that would be the dividend. Here would be the divisor, or the width, and then the answer would be the quotient up here. So I usually go divisor, dividend, quotient. But I teach the kids that that comes from sort of an area model, and we're labeling the length and the width. So a 3 by 5, 15. If 3 is the width, then 5 would be the length. So this is division, okay? And this would be quotient, divisor, dividend, okay? So that would be another one you would want to work in there for division. While we're still on the idea of fractions, we want to work on the number line, okay? So here's the number line. I'm going to step this way a little bit. And what I like about the number line is, in third and fourth, it's going to represent positive numbers. And when we get to a fifth, this is 0, and then these would be the negative numbers, and these would be the positive integers and the negative integers. But anyway, for now, we'll just say it's all positive. And we got 0, as I said in the second grade video, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Once you establish this is 0 and this elbow is 1, the shoulder becomes 2. We get 1, and then here's half, 4th, 8th, 16th. So you can start to use your body as a number line. Again, in the second grade video, I show this a little more clearly, but you have 0, 1, 2. So if this is 1, this is a half. Now you can practice counting by halves. 0, half, 1, 1 1/2, right there on the bicep. 2, 2 1/2 at the top of the head. 3, 3 1/2, again, we're on the bicep. 4, 4 1/2, 5. So this becomes the number line. You can show any fraction you want. Well, you can show halves and fourths and fifths, but it's a nice way to represent the model right here with your body, number line. When you get to the bigger fractions, again, unit fractions, if you go like 4/3, you can talk about improper fraction, 4/3. You can flash that. Kids know that's improper. Or a mixed number. And here we get your whole number right here is your body. And a little fraction on the side. Usually use my voice like that. A little fraction on the side. So this is a mixed number, whole number and a fraction on the side. One of the things we talked about in the second grade video was that you can decompose. You can take apart 1 1/2 to 1 whole and a half. So this is, if you go like this, it means kids take it apart, decompose it, break it down. When we wanted to talk about the shapes, we're going to use the Venn diagram, which would be here. That's really nice to do with 2 kids together. But the Venn diagram becomes important when you're talking about the different rectangles and different trapezoids and so forth. But I use this a lot for my rectangle. Again, in the second grade video, if you go back and watch that quickly, you can see how this becomes a rectangle. The length, the width, dimensions. So these are the dimensions. And then this becomes area. And usually, again, I use a little German accent there, I guess. Area. Like the witches from Roald Dahl's book with the rolling R's. Area. And then this becomes squarea. Like the square units inside. 1, 2, 3, 4. I sometimes even write on my hand to draw the rows and the columns so I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Count the squares. Squarea, area. And then perimeter, distance around. I often try to get the chanting going back with the class so that they can hear how it would sound. The distance around, and area, squarea. So I'm linking that concept right here. Easy to practice, easy review, and that would be 2 big ideas for 3 to 5, the idea of area and thing. When we get to the prism again, we have this shape, and you can start to talk about your solid, your face, your edge, your vertices. Again, I covered this in the 2nd grade. You can go back and watch that. But the important concept here now is that this is the volume, is the space inside. The volume, the space inside. And then the surface area, if you hit every face, that would be the surface area. Later on, we'll be talking about the net where you would open it up. So perimeter, area, solid, face, edge, vertices, and of course, the volume on the inside. You want to get the measurement units down. This was in the 2nd grade video, but again, a quick review. This is a meter, yard, when you curl in your fingers, meter, yard, foot, 2 feet, 3 feet. You've got pound and kilogram. You also want to make sure you go over your 2 liter, your liter, which is about a quart, your cup, your pint, and your cup and your ounce. Those words, go back and watch the 2nd grade measurement video, and you'll see me act those out really clearly. An important concept for the younger grades is this idea of trading. In 3 to 5, you're going to use the word convert. So we might be converting from one unit to another, and that would be a 5th grade idea. So very important to know that there are 3 feet in a yard when we go to convert them. Temperature, that's a big idea coming up in 5th grade because you're going to use your negative integers. So I usually go for temperature, right? You get your Celsius or your, I don't know, I just draw an F probably for Fahrenheit. For 5th grade, you need, again, the number line. This being 0, these would be negative integers and positive integers. So this is 0. If I tap my head like this, they're orienting number line, but now this is 0. Negative numbers, positive numbers, just like that. What else do we have? We have the idea of a formula. Usually I'm like a scientist, and I'm doing the formula like this for formula, and that might be the length times the width times the height, and that will give you the volume. The length times the width, that will give you the area. Those are common formulas that you're going to see. So usually I pretend like I'm a scientist, and I say, what's the formula? What's the way to get the answer? A big idea for 4th grade is this whole idea of a protractor. So we have to talk a little bit about circles for this last concept. So I think I'm going to make up my circle like this, so they know that that's a circle, right? And I'm going to say 360 degrees. So now, when I take my angle, I can go up. We used to do this for the clock, but we've got 90 degrees, 180 degrees, 90 degrees, 0 degrees, 45 degrees. So once you establish that this is a circle, this would be a straight angle, 180 degrees, 90 degrees, 45 degrees, and so on. The last important concepts here is a little bit with the line plots. So you spread out the data, and plot. Plot the data, spread it out on a line plot. Now it's not a number line. See how I have my fists? This would be a line plot. So it has a beginning and an end, a line plot. And those would be some of the big ideas in this particular unit for grades 3 to 5.